Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade.
And I'm Russ Riesinger. President Trump announces he's gearing up and ready for a second round.
The president rallied the crowd in Orlando tonight with his brand of populism, predicting an earthquake at the ballot box in 2020.
Nicole Killian has more from the Amway Center Arena in Orlando.
Thank you, Orlando. What a turnout.
President Trump kicked off his 2020 re-election campaign with a rally in Orlando, telling the crowd why he wants another 4 years in the White House.
Our country is now thriving, prospering, and booming. And frankly, it's soaring to incredible new heights.
The president touched on some of his most popular themes, like building the wall and curbing illegal immigration.
We believe our country should be a sanctuary for law-abiding citizens, not for criminal aliens.
Well, this is President Trump's official 2020 launch. He never really stopped campaigning. He's held 59 rallies since taking office.
The president has repeatedly cited rally attendance as clear proof he's doing well, but leaked internal numbers recently showed him trailing Democrat Joe Biden and resulted in the dismissal of 3 of the president's pollsters. Campaign manager Brad Parscale expressed complete confidence to CBS's Major Garrett.
I think we win an electoral landslide as of today. I think the president was happy.
An electoral landslide.
I think even more electoral points than he did last time.
Supporters we spoke with seem to agree.
Too many people voted him in the first time, and we're not going anywhere.
The Trump campaign expects to raise at least $18 million Tuesday and plans to roll out a secure app supporters can use to organize, donate, and get out the vote. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Orlando.
Montana Governor Steve Bullock's presidential campaign says Bullock has qualified for the second Democratic candidate debate in July.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that Bullock is assured of making it on the debate stage in Detroit. Bullock's campaign announced today he's met the qualifications after polling at 1% in a new Iowa poll by CBS. But Bullock is still the 21st candidate to qualify for the debate, and the Democratic National Committee has said it will limit it to 20 candidates.
Now that means a series of tiebreakers could determine who makes it on stage. Bullock did not qualify for the DNC's first presidential candidate debate set for Miami next week. Now Bullock will be in New Hampshire this weekend for several campaign events.
New Hampshire is the site of the first state presidential primary election next February.
A financial audit shows Montana Secretary of State Corey Stapleton improperly used a state vehicle to commute from Helena to his home in Billings, more than 200 miles away. The legislative auditor says Stapleton racked up 27,000 miles on the state pickup truck during his first 18 months on the job. The auditor referred the findings to the state attorney general's office as a violation of state law. In response, Stapleton says long-term state vehicle leases are allowed to support an office mission and suggested his use was related to telework. But the auditor says long-term leases do not authorize commuting more than 30 miles away. Stapleton's office canceled its lease on the truck in April after being told of the violation. Now, the state attorney general's office says it is reviewing the findings.
Montana Attorney General Tim Fox and Montana Highway Patrol Chief Tom Butler have been at the U.S.-Mexico border since Sunday, meeting with law enforcement officials in Texas and New Mexico. Both Montanans said they're convinced the recent surge of migrants seeking entry into the U.S. is a crisis which directly impacts Montana. Fox and Butler say that means more meth is making its way to the U.S., including Montana, because Border Patrol has its hands full with the number of migrants crossing. When Fox was asked whether his visit is simply promoting his 2020 campaign for governor, he said his firsthand look at the border makes him a better informed advocate to urge action by Congress to help solve the problem.
Much of the crime in Montana, it's no secret, is driven by the increase in drugs coming to our state from across our southern border. And there's only so much we alone can do in Montana. And while my office has ramped up operations with our federal, tribal, and local law enforcement partners, the solution must be a national effort.
Fox is one of 3 prominent Republicans running for governor in 2020.
Well, a whole slew of people are vying to sit and serve on the Billings City Council in 2020.
The deadline has closed for those hoping to get their name on the ballot this year. Now, 21 residents are running to represent wards across the city of Billings. Current Ward 2 Representative Roy Neese is the only incumbent this year. There are new and familiar faces running in 2019, including former Yellowstone County Commissioner candidate Jim Ronquillo. Darren Olson, the Rimrock Mall marketing director, is running to represent Ward 4. And Jennifer Marecki, former Montana Senate hopeful, is running in Ward 5.
Now, we talked with Mayor Bill Cole tonight to get his take on the sheer number of candidates. He said, quote, "I think so many people are running because there are a lot of exciting things going on in Billings right now. For example, the West End water treatment plant and reservoir and One Big Sky."
And Cole says there are some good candidates who are really interested in serving the Billings community.
Now, the primary election to whittle down the 21 candidates happens September 10th.
The waterways all across Montana turned dangerous and even deadly over the last 48 hours.
The latest situation tonight on the Missouri River in Great Falls. We've now confirmed 2 people have died in an accident involving 2 jet skis. It first started as a report of a river rescue at the Meadowlark Country Club.
Now, the cause of the accident is still unknown. We'll continue to follow this story online as more details develop.
This afternoon, search and rescue crews recovered the body of a missing diver in the Canyon Ferry Reservoir near Helena. Divers, search and rescue dogs, and sonar-equipped boats scoured the lake looking for the out-of-state man who went missing yesterday. Authorities say the victim, who has not yet been identified, may have had equipment troubles. A 16-year-old suspect involved in a stolen vehicle chase died this morning after he jumped into the Clark Fork River in downtown Missoula. The stolen vehicle was out of Washington State. The Missoula County Sheriff's Office tells us during a traffic stop, the boy jumped out of the vehicle and into the river. Authorities detained 3 others in the car. A search for the 16-year-old ensued both on water and by air. At one point, the boy did come out of the water to speak with officers, but jumped back in and went under. Missoula County Search and Rescue recovered the teen's body around 9 o'clock this morning.
Man accused of murdering his girlfriend in Billings last fall denies that crime in court. 54-year-old Gregory Green is charged with killing Laura Johnson last September. Green pleaded not guilty today to deliberate homicide during a brief appearance in court this morning by video from the Yellowstone County Jail. He was arrested in Nevada back in April and charged in the case. Laura Johnson is still missing, but prosecutors allege they have evidence to prove that Green killed Johnson and disposed of her body, including camera footage from a neighbor that showed Green carrying what appeared to be a body out of his garage. Green's bond was set at $250,000.
The former president of the Northern Cheyenne tribe faces a hefty fine and possible long prison sentence after pleading guilty to federal charges this week.
The charges go back to 2014 when Jace Kilsback was health director for the tribe. Kilsback pleaded guilty to charges of wire fraud and conspiracy. Prosecutors stated that Kilsback requested and received reimbursement for official travel from the tribe, and federal agencies then provided false invoices.
Court documents do not specify how much money was stolen. Kilsback could face up to 30 years in prison and $500,000 in fines, although prosecutors are expected to ask for a lighter sentence because Kilsback admitted his guilt. His sentencing is set for July 8th. Now, Kilsback was elected president of the tribe in 2016, but was ousted a year later.
He won the seat back in a special election in 2018, but suddenly resigned later that year. All right, let's turn to weather. Bob, things are going to be a little more splash and a little less dash, it sounds like, in coming days.
I'm afraid we get some heavy rain. We've had 2 waves of moisture move through today. Let me show it to you on the Doppler radar. The biggest one is the one that made its way through Billings earlier today. You can see it's now over there by Broadus and Miles City. That had some pretty big storms in it. About an hour ago, we had just another little system move through Billings right now. That was our second wave of moisture. So we're going to see some more showers moving, but how much more rain are we talking about? Well, take a look at this. Whoa! In the purple, and it does include Billings, we're looking at for heavy showers and thunderstorms right on through Friday night. And could see 135 for Billings. That's what the computer model is saying. All the areas in purple could see over an inch. Those in blue, generally about a half an inch to maybe about maybe to around an inch. And if that wasn't enough, take a look at this. Up in the western part of the state, they're talking snow. We'll have more about that in a few more minutes.
All right. Thank you, Bob.
Coming up on tonight's 10 o'clock news, hopes to repair a damaged Bozeman ice rink are melting 6 months after heavy snow forced its roof to collapse.
And could you disconnect from your smartphone for a year for $100,000? One woman is trying.
I couldn't. And later in sports, the Mustangs still looking for the first win of 2019. Would it come tonight against Great Falls? Stay tuned.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.